What's up, Lions fans? We got a topic, man. It's obviously growing because it's still fresh right now. But the ball is in your court, Brad Holmes. The ball is in your court. We're to a point now where national media is starting to call out that the Detroit Lions need to go after someone and bring someone in if they have any Super Bowl aspirations. I think it's the right time for us to really deep dive into that situation. So yeah, shout out to Bet US for sponsoring this video. Let's get to it.
Let's go! Like a Puerto Rican guy.
Hey, King paying for gas.
The Detroit Lions, Super Bowl contenders, Super Bowl aspirations, soon to be a Super Bowl city. We have a window of opportunity right now, and we have a 50-50 fan base, and that's including our local media, radio, or whatever you want to say. You got half of us saying, forget those picks, let's go and get somebody. Then you got the other half that just wants to be safe. They want to keep building and building and building and building and building and building some more. Where am I as far as this situation? What is my true opinion? Not as a fan, but as somebody who's watched the entire franchise go from the bottom to the top several times in this league. I've watched a lot of football in my life. I know what that looks like. You know, a lot of us are new Lions fans or new to this football thing, or not as far as, I would say, deep divers into football. We're not football consumers. The only thing we really know is to go and cheer for your team and cheer for them no matter what. And that's absolutely fine. But for us who consume a lot of football, instantly the thought is, if we want to win a Super Bowl right now, in this window, we got to be aggressive. We have not been aggressive over this time period since Brad has been here. Not to slight Brad Holmes, but we do question, because we simply have not addressed, we just haven't addressed the defensive edge rusher situation at all, really. Davenport, to me, was just it could happen or it couldn't happen type of deal, right? It's not like we're giving them money or something like that. And we see how that turned out. Turned out as it's been for the last several years, right? When you have a guy like Aiden Hutchinson, going and getting another option on the other side, it changes everything. We know that, right? We just never really took that serious for some reason, at least in my opinion. You know, we got a guy in James Houston who we thought could be that guy, turn into that guy. But for some reason, he's in the doghouse. And if you ask any questions about it, it's instant rejection and attitude from the organization. I don't know what it's about, but It started a little bit probably about a year or two ago. A year ago. I mean, it was just weird, and it's still weird. We know the boy can play, but for some reason, can't get on the field, and it has nothing to do with talent. Y'all that don't go to training camp, you don't read reports out of practice. If you don't do any of those things, don't comment, because the people that were there that read these things, that follows this team, they know that the boy is talented, but we don't know why he's in a doghouse. You got a big part of the crowd that's saying that it's a next man up thing. For some reason, I don't think we're watching the same football team. There is no next man up. Who's the next man? Ukwu? That's next man up? We talking about a practice squatter? Listen, man, you got to be aggressive right now. Right now. I'm not saying go and give up, 2 second-round picks for anybody. The only 2 players' names I want to hear for a 2 second-round pick situation is someone like Myles Garrett or Max Crosby. But Max Crosby looks like a far stretch. It would take him to go to that front office and say, get me out of here before I start breaking legs, before the Raiders become a team willing to trade him here. Myles Garrett, Zadarius Smith, different situation. The Browns, they've tried to be stubborn, like the Raiders, which is another bad organization. And they just haven't, hit that reset button. You hit the reset button, bro. You have to. You look at Watson's situation over there. Bro, nobody's taking his contract. Bro, reset. Reset, Browns. Just do it. Reset. And if they're a team willing to come off of one of those guys, here's my only thing with Zadarius Smith, though. Is he going to play the run? Is the question. That's my thing. You know what I'm saying? Is he going to play the run? Because that's one thing that Hutch does that, really don't get talked about a lot. But obviously still is somebody that you can bring here that could be, productive for you. You can go down to Jacksonville. You can go to Tennessee. You can go to the Bengals. You can go a lot of places right now and pick out some pass rushers that will come in here and help the Lions at least in this situation and try to help us continue to push for that Super Bowl. But if we drag our ass the way that we have been when it comes to drafting edge rushers or even, going to get one, I guarantee you we will not be going to no Super Bowl. Teams will shred us. They will shred us. You're going to have another Mullins situation, making him look like Tom Brady or somebody. We just came from that defense, right? If we drag our ass and go and get some janitor from across the damn country somewhere and say this guy be good enough, no, not in this situation. Not this situation. This is not a diamond in the rough situation. You got to go get somebody that's proven, that's ready to go right now. If you want to win the Super Bowl still. That's a Super Bowl. Otherwise, you may go to the playoffs and win some games. You probably won't be playing home games. You might not win the division if you drag your feet. But I got good faith that the Lions are on the phones. Obviously, based off of what, I've asked a couple of the in the know people in the organization on Twitter, beat writers, even on national TV, Ian Rappaport. The Lions are on the phone. They're on the phone, which is encouraging. because this is a totally different situation. It has to happen. It has to, if we still going for it, because that window is not as large as people think it is, man. These teams are building. Obviously, look at the NFC North, ladies and gentlemen. They're building. They're building just like we are. They're not just sitting back and say, oh, let the Lions do it. No, they're building too. That Super Bowl window, it will shut in your face. And I know a lot of you guys don't understand what that's like because you never follow any other team but the Detroit Lions. Lions fans, real quick, it's week 7. We got the Vikings coming up. It's going to be a big game. A lot of expectations for our team. We're underdogs right now. Make sure you go over to BetUS. 150% bonuses up to your first deposit, up to $2,000, $125 for the next 2 after that. Listen, use the YouTube 150 promo code to get that deal. Get signed up. Get ready to place those bets. They change daily. Remember that. So we're going to get some prop bets going this week on this game. It's a big time game for us. I know a lot of people are kind of nervous about it, but that still does not take the fun away from placing those bets. So with that said, man, you guys keep it locked here on this channel. Get over to BetUS. Get it done. I'll see y'all in a minute. Me as a connoisseur of football, I've seen with franchises how they move when they took advantage of these short window opportunities. You can only build so much. You can only build so much. At a certain point, it's time to put the damn hammers down and go win. Right now, we have a mature team now. We're not the little kids building up anymore. We're adults now. It's time to go win. It is time to go win. Simple and plain. There's no other way to put it. So I don't want you guys to get emotional because of what I'm saying to you. I'm not saying it to be, the bad guy. I'm just telling you how the NFL operates, bro. The NFL is vicious. It's a vicious cycle. It is literally the way that the league is put together. It is put together to break your heart. And that can happen very fast. Very fast. So be aggressive, Brad Holmes. The ball is in your court. I have 100% confidence that he'll bring the right guy in here. I truly do believe that. Dan Campbell went on the presser today. 4 to 6 months for Hutchinson. Said if you don't count out anybody, don't count out Hutch. He believes that if anybody can make their way back, it will be Hutch. And, I think a lot of us feel that way. But he also said that the Detroit Lions are looking and scouting for guys. It just has to be the right situation. They're not going to go and give up every asset that we have to bring in one dude. It has to be the right situation. And they've been consistent with that over the years. But I'm going to say this again. Fuck them picks. That's just what it is. Go get me the sure guy that you were going to use those high picks on. A guy that I know that's productive already, that's in this league already, instead of a hope and a wish drafting somebody and they don't turn out. The guy I'm going to get is not the guy just to rent for this year. The guy I'm going to get, if I'm giving up those assets, is a guy that's going to become a part of my core. That's the mindset. So when some fans hear picks, they automatically jump to a conclusion and say, oh, it's a bad thing, when you don't even understand what's going on. Those same picks that you're going to use to take a chance on a kid, you've got people in this league that's already proven and ready to go. That's grown men that could become a part of your core. that could be sitting here waiting for Aiden Hutchinson when he comes back in 2025. I'm going to paint this picture to you. Guys like Myles Garrett, right? That's just an example. You have an opportunity to have a defensive line of Aiden Hutchinson, Alim McNeil, DJ Reader, and Myles Garrett. Think about that for a minute. You go from good to great. Great. Not elite. Great. You have the best trenches in the entire NFL on both sides of the football. We all talk about it all the time, especially here on my channel. When the trenches is like this and they're great, everything behind it becomes great as well. That's just how it works. That's how it works. So, yeah, that's where we are. That's where we are, man. Man, we really got to get something done. We do. We got a tough task coming up next week. I'm not saying it has to happen this week. That's not what I'm saying, but we got some tough teams we still have to face. And we have a lot of division games that we have to play. We cannot play around. We cannot. Get it done, Brad Holmes. We believe in you. Shout out to BetUS for sponsoring this video. I'll see you guys a little bit later this week. Peace.